Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, InaneDragon, and tonight, I remember that I was supposed to be making a multi-part miniseries designed to fill space when I just can't be asked to do something better. Answering Intelligent Design. Part 1, if you haven't seen it, answers questions 1 and 3, which sort of set the stage for everything else, so go watch that if you haven't yet. Now, in Part 2, we're going to tackle questions 2 and 4. The remaining 6 questions all build off of the first 4, so it makes sense to tackle those early. If you're wondering why I went evens odds, it's because questions 1 and 3 lay the foundations, whilst 2 and 4 set the boundaries. They're thematically tied together, in other words. Without further ado, let's consider how they try and sneak God into science this time! Question 2. The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI, is a scientific research program that searches for signs of intelligence from distant space. Should biologists likewise search for signs of intelligence in biological systems? Why or why not? Nope, because searching for intelligence in a natural system is begging the question. When you assume there's an intelligence to be found within that natural system, you're committing a logical fallacy. Just like everything else discovered by science, if an intelligence is there to be found, it will be found because the evidence supports it. What SETI is doing is looking for signals that we do not see in nature. For example, if we received a radio wave that was frequency modulated to produce the Fibonacci sequence using binary counting, nothing we've seen in nature does that, not even close. We've got good reason to hope that this is a signal from little green men rather than another pulsar event. But since we know that you're leading into question 3 with this and the idea of information encoded in DNA, let's retroactively head you off the path. As best we know, DNA occurs in nature. How do we know? Look outside. We call that nature. And it's full to fuck of things made with DNA. We have no reason to believe anything supernatural created anything natural unless we can't come up with a natural explanation for it. Realistically, you can't search for intelligence in nature for the simple fact that we would need another nature to compare our findings against. If we someday find a separately developed set of life forms on some other world, we could then start to meaningfully compare their biology to our planet's biology and perhaps discover that one or the other of us were the product of intelligent design. But short of that, there's no meaningful method to tell us if we were intelligently designed. Well, except to point to ways in which we can show that living systems differ from what would be expected if an intelligent designer did create life. That is, if we can show that life is, badly designed. Even this would only be evidence against intelligent design in the Bayesian sense. That is, it would support the notion that it is less probable that the system was designed intelligently rather than being a falsification of the hypothesis outright. And all of this is limited to only the issue of biology within a specific biosphere. At this point, our intelligent designer could be those little green men with their binary encoded FM Fibonacci sequence. We haven't even considered the universe as a whole yet. To determine if that was intelligently designed, we wouldn't just need signals from outer space or a second biosphere to examine, we would need a whole separate universe to contrast against our own. So that's it for question 2, and we've already answered question 3. Onwards to question 4. If you haven't seen Journey Quest, do it, Philistine. Question 4. Do any structures in the cell resemble machines designed by humans? How do we account for such structures? You're missing the most important word in your own question. Resemble. The thing is, machines run a gamut of complexity from fulcrums to jet engines. Since nearly everything is a machine, it is no surprise that we see structures in cells in nature that share characteristics with human-designed machines. After all, a machine is nothing more than a way to accomplish work. That being said, we therefore see many structures in cells which resemble man-made machines. So what? You have to have so-called machines to accomplish work, whether man-made or the product of nature. It would be stronger evidence for intelligent design if we didn't see machine-like structures in cells, because that would imply some sort of mystical life force, such as a soul, was required to accomplish work within cells and bodies. Machine analogs are expected under both the design hypothesis and evolutionary theory, but are stronger evidence for evolution than for design for the reasons discussed. We're leaving off the crap about irreducible complexity, because that's going to show up in questions 5 through 10. Yay. Goody. I can't wait. Kill me. If not, please consider subscribing, rating, commenting, clicking the ding-a-ling, all that shilly stuff. I do have a Patreon if you absolutely loathe being wealthy. Every penny earned there goes back into the channel one way or another. Until next time, I'm InaneDragon, wishing you all a good night.